welcome in. And today I'll talk about the boosted allegation problem. Now let me start off by saying this. Yes, there are boosted players in every single role in the entire game. That's a given. Whether you say it's more in support, more in DPS, more in tank, I do not care. I'm mostly going to focus on the support side because I know a lot of people have said support is the most boosted role. Now let me get straight into this. Now, I think most of this stems from the support strike, at least in terms of Marvel Rivals, because I know there's been a lot of talk about, let's say, Mercy and Overwatch, but I'm just going to go over the history of Rivals and the rise of that sentiment in Rivals. And I first believe it started really to start a snowball during the support strike with Necros. At that time, he had major reach in the community. He still kind of does, but everyone now sees really who he is, what really he's about. People who like him stayed with him, people who was mixed or even didn't like him kind of pushed away from him more. But his sentiment was all supports are boosted, are brain dead, have no good takes, etc. This got exemplified and kind of enloudened by his community, which spread to the DPS community, even some tanks, even some supports. Since a big name said it, it's probably true, right guys? No. Because a lot of things in life where if you say things enough, people will start to believe it. And that's what that turned into. Sure, with Rocket, sure, there's not as much skill expression as, let's say, a Loki, but you still need skill. You won't get boosted to Eternity, to a Celestial, to Grandmaster, to even Diamond, or even these mid-metal ranks, like let's say Gold, Platinum. That's the lowest tier I would go for my point. But with Rocky, you can't put the amp on the enemy backline, and none of your teammates are there and win matches. You're not gonna win those matches. And with Rocky, if you're counter swapped with a Phoenix, you're gonna lose. I mean, that's just how it's gonna go. And a lot of people say, well, you're support, you're a heal bot, you're this, you're that, you're boosted. Meanwhile, if you ask them why, they're like, oh, be a support's easy. To you, they'll say, oh no, in general, it's super easy, it's so brain dead. And one of the main evidences they would hand out is the Necros drama, when he played support from Bronze 3 to Celestial 3. Keep in mind, he didn't get to top 500 with support, he didn't get to Eternity with support, he didn't get to Celestial 1 with support, he didn't get to Celestial 2 with support. He mains DPS, he's a consistent Eternity level player, he's gotten to top 500 many times, mostly in the earlier seasons, and it's just like, dude, you had around a 54% win rate when you got to GM3 to Celestial 3. Let's count that, let's compare it to me right now, because, you know, if support's so brain-dead and easy, I mean, that a consistent top 500 player in Overwatch, a top 500 player in Marvel Rivals, he must be better than me, which is, this is my first competitive game, right, as Loki? BC mostly played Loki, keep that in mind. So, as support in general, right now, with 55% win rate, and I am a higher rank than he was back then when he stopped. I'm Celestial 2 with a 55%. Just maybe 10 games ago, I had a 57%. He had a 54% when he got to Celestial 3. Keep in mind, his win rate nosedived as soon as he got to Grandmaster. You can watch my earlier videos about it to know the exact number, but I believe it was around 60% until he got to Grandmaster and winning. So if everyone's using evidence of, oh, this consistent top 500 DPS player in Overwatch, the went to Marvel Rivals was a consistent top 500 player at the time, oh, they switched to a support and they got to a higher rank in Celestial 3, which I know people that have like close to 500 games and got it with a negative win rate. It's not hard to get to Celestial 3 now, especially when it was back then where ranks were just inflated. So if all of these DPS, dive, whatever, this whole community that says supports are boosted, their only reliance, their main evidence is, oh, a consistent top 500 player played a character that's a support on a 54% win rate on an inflated ranked season and never got past Celestial 2. I mean, if that's your evidence, that says enough about you. But other people will say, oh, look at this, this character in my match right now, look, the support, they had horrible ults, they had horrible healing numbers, that's why we lost, they can't get boosted enough, blah blah blah. So let's go into my next part of the video where I go more into that. Welcome to this part of the video. I'll try to edit the least I can because I know a lot of people say, well, you're just looking at that one character and that one player out of maybe 1 of 1,000 games, 1 out of 100 games, for example. You're unfair, blah blah blah. No, I'll go down the list, edit as least I can, and show you all the people. Let's go to the first one. So, boosting and getting carried. What about this Hella? I mean, She has almost the least amount of damage in her whole team. So right here, maybe the game looks pretty fair, right? Maybe you could say the Iron Fist, maybe he was a bit carried, but he does have 8 finals. I have almost as much damage as him, have a better KDA, but okay, maybe let's not count that, all right. Next game, we have Hawkeye that's 17-9 with our other DPS at 31-8. Would that be a carry? Would that be a boosted Hawkeye? Because he has one bad game, or one off game, or one game where he's not as good as the other DPS? I don't know. If you take the same logic from DPS players to supports, maybe he is boosted. Maybe he didn't deserve that win. Okay. Next game, loss. Okay. Our DPS, he has 9 finals. I have 7. He has more deaths. I have 10 more kills. I mean, he took one of the highest damages in the lobby. Would this loss now be on him because he couldn't get boosted that much because he wasn't carried as much as he should have? By DPS logic, he should have been boosted. He is boosted. What about this one down here? I mean, 13-11 DPS Punisher. I mean, maybe he's boosted. Maybe he's, not having an off game. It can't be that. You can never have off games. You have to blame everything on, one game represents everything. It has to be that. Maybe that Punisher's just boosted, 20% accuracy rate. He has to be like severely boosted just because his role. I mean, DPS logic would say so. What about this one? Oh, an 0-4 DPS. I mean, must have been boosted to this rank. I mean, there's no possible way he could get up here if he wasn't boosted. I mean, gotta hand to DPS players. They had to be boosted to get up in this rank. What about this game right here? 9-5 Spider-Man, 4 final hits, only 1. I don't know. Gotta be a boosted Spider-Man. That means all Spider-Mans are not boosted in terms of DPS mindsets. I mean, you have to be boosted to get up here if you have those numbers and you're winning. Oh my god. Oh, the next game. Oh, I would also like to mention, between these two games, look, this Deadpool, 40-5. The game before, where he was on the enemy team, 3-8. The worst tank on their team. Must have been boosted. Oh, that Squirrel Girl must have been boosted, but mostly focusing on the Deadpool. Oh, look, 3-8. I mean, he must have been boosted to even get up at this point. Next game, he's the MVP of our team. 18 finals, 14-5-6. But yeah, guys, it must have been boosted. You never have off games. This game, I mean, it looks kind of good. I mean, look at that 13-10 Captain America, who played 4 tanks. I mean, 5 finals. Oh man, he only got to this point because of how boosted he is. Look at that. He had an off game. Okay. Whatever you say. What this game? Oh, a 5-6 tank. 1 final hit. I guess he was the problem. I guess he's only up here because of how boosted he is. He can't have an off game at all. Let's judge him just based on this game. Not anything else. Let's just keep doing it. I mean, you guys know what my point is right now. Sure. Are there boosted supports? Hell yeah. I've definitely met my fair share. Trust me. Are there boosted tanks? Hell yeah. I've definitely had my fair share of them too. And are there boosted DPS? Hell yes. But just because one person has one off game which you play with them does not mean they're boosted if they are bad that game. And you saw right here, Brazy Girls, the game before, they were absolutely horrible, at least in terms of stat line, one of the worst on their team. Now, people probably avoided him, or her, I don't know. I'm just gonna use him, because I believe I faced him in the past and he was a thrower, but I'm just gonna ignore that fact for now. I think I even put him in a video, he's a blade. But anyway, people probably avoided him, said he was horrible, said, how'd you get up this rank with that mentality, with this, with that? Granted, they did have, I just realized, 0 supports at one point. I don't know who was supports. And you can see like 3 people were supports, but they all like kind of threw at the end. But he's the only one out of 3 people, I would say, that actually stuck to their role, actually did their job, and they were 3-8. This is how much of a team diff this game was. Because look, there's 3 people on my team that had 0 deaths. Whether you say that's positioning, whether you say that's supports, whatever. I don't mind either way. I didn't have that great of accuracy this game either. Okay, maybe he's just, bad player, Well, next game he was MVP. Again, 3 people with 4 deaths each. 1 person with 2. Also, this congrats person, are they like a streamer or a content creator? They are like one of the best pennies I've ever played with. That's just a side note though. Again, right here, I mean, bit of a healing gap between me and everyone else, but he did one of the best. I mean, he had more damage than every tank, tied most final hits with all of his tanks, almost the most final hits in the entire lobby. I mean, let's say he was in the support role instead, and he, let's say, was a Luna, and he had very bad stat line. Like in this one right here, he was 3-8, 0 assists. People would say, wow, you are boosted support, you are horrible, you are this, you are that. But if you go right here, and the support is 45 and 6, I know that assist will be different because, you know, tank. But people would say, wow, you are amazing support. I mean, you're one of the greatest I've ever played with. And that's not me saying a random thing out loud. I've done that before. One game, I'm called boosted, I'm called trash, I'm called horrible. People have even said slurs at me. Next game, I mean, you can see right here, I don't have the chat logs anymore. If you look at this MVP right here, 42,700 healing, 24,400 damage. I mean, look at that compared to the rest of the supports. 4,222 damage, 11,000 damage, and I have 24,000, almost double my other support because of how I know how to play Loki. And I bet you, if you've been paying attention, you see this Milkman Timmy guy. I've been playing against him and with him that whole stretch and whole session. I actually target banned his Wolverine 2 times because he's so good at him. But I never told him that when it was actually on his team, because as you can see, game before this, Milkman Timmy on the enemy team. Before that, Milkman Timmy. And then Milkman Timmy. Game before that, he's on my team. We lost though. Before that, I mean, you can see. You can see Eye Eater again. My point is, you could be amazing having an off game. People just base you and base their whole experiences on your role, mostly support, on, yep, that person had an off game, that means they're boosted. That means it. That's a whole thing right there. It has to be that. So I'll wrap this portion of the video up. I mean, you could have an off game, or you can have a game like this where I almost outdamage the entire lobby, except for the enemy Bucky, our Moon Knight, and that's it. And I had more healing than everyone but the Mantis by less than 1,000, which I hate my accuracy right there. But yeah, let's transfer over to the rest of the video now. See you there. And so I think you guys all see my point right now. Not everyone, just because they have a bad game, just because you have a bad experience, does not mean they're boosted. I mean, if bad stats means boosted, I guess a lot of DPS in my games are really that boosted. If bad stats mean people are boosted, if playing easy characters means you're boosted, I guess all Moon Knight mains, all Squirrel Girl mains, all Scarlet Witch mains, all of these easy characters, I guess they're all boosted too. Well, to some part, maybe, yeah, true. These easier characters, sure, they need to do a lot less compared to, let's say, a Rocket to a Loki, a Scarlet Witch to a Hela, a Thing to a Strange. Sure, you have to do a lot less to get value out of the former, but with the latter, sure, you probably have less boosted players because it requires higher skill, but does it mean every single player that plays that easier character is now boosted? Not even just with support and the hypocrisy of people calling all supports boosted. Like, people are calling Loki players boosted. People are calling Mantis players boosted. People are calling Ultron players boosted, etc. Meanwhile, these are the most highest skill expression characters in the game. I would say Mantis aim is far harder than the vast majority of aiming out of all DPS in the entire game, just because of how it is, and it's not instant hit scan. I could average out around a 50% accuracy rate with a Hela, with the Phoenix, with a Namor. But with Mantis, I would like to see a DPS player get more than a 50% accuracy rate with Mantis without just shooting the tanks 24/7. Like, that's a genuine challenge. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. How stupid is this allegation? See you guys next video. See ya.